Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we will continue reading our book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Religion. So yesterday we read till here that Srimad Bhagavatam is the embodiment of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Why? Because in Srimad Bhagavatam, what is mentioned? It is all the pastimes of the devotees and Krishna and their reciprocation. What the devotees do, what is the attitude of the devotees, what is the mood of the devotees, what are the thought process of the devotee, what is the activities of the devotees, and then what are the activities of Lord Krishna in relation to the devotees. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam is all about. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the embodiment. It shows us what is devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and therefore it is situated in a position that is superior, far superior, far superior to any other and all other Vedic literatures. Because the ultimate essence of all other literatures is to come to this platform of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And that is given in full detail in Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is the embodiment of that supreme uh, platform, that is devotional service to Krishna. Religion includes four primary subjects: pious activities, economic development, satisfaction of the senses, and liberation from material bondage. So, four subjects, as we discussed many times previously also: dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. Religious life is distinguished from the irreligious life of barbarism. Indeed, it may be said that human life actually begins with religion. So, if somebody does not follow the principles of religion, even if they have two legs, even if they are walking on two legs, they are as good as two-legged animals. They cannot be considered human being, because human life actually begins with religion. It begins with religion. It is not said that it ends with religion. The four principles of animal life, eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, are common to both animals as well as the human beings. Ahar, Nidra, Bhay, and Methuna. These are all common to animals as well as human beings. But religion is the special concern of human beings. What differentiates animals from human beings is that human beings they are given that extra intelligence so that they can follow the principles of religion. Since human life without religion is no better than animal life, in real human society there is some form of religion aiming at self-realization and referring to one's eternal relationship with God. No matter whichever religion we look at, every society, every human society will have some form of religion which will aim at self-realization. What is the ultimate purpose of life? All that. And referring to one's eternal relationship with God, that there is a higher power and there is some relationship that I have with that higher power. What is it? In the lower stage of human civilization, there is always competition between men in their attempt to dominate material nature. This is human civilization, but lower stage of human civilization. They're always competing with each other. Who can lord over the material nature in a better way? Who can have a bigger house? Who can have a bigger car? If somebody has BMW, then the other one will want to have a Porsche. So that competition is going on constantly. In other words, there is continuous rivalry in an attempt to satisfy the senses. Thus, driven by sense gratificatory consciousness, men perform religious rituals and pious activities with the aim of acquiring some material gain. Sometimes we will see that some people, they are performing some kind of religious rituals and pious activities. Acha chalo, there is Ekadashi, okay, let us do some Ekadashi. Or let us go to Char Dham, let us go to Badrinath, Kedarnath, or let us do some charitable activities. So all these religious rituals and pious activities, but what is the aim in their mind? What is the purpose that they have in their mind? That they want to acquire some material gain, that if we do all these religious rituals and pious activities, we will get good results and we will be able to enjoy sense gratification, better sense gratification. So driven by sense gratificatory consciousness. Consciousness is not that we want to do these things so that we can, for the higher principles, that to understand what is the purpose of life, so that we can go, so that we can move up in that direction. No, that is not the purpose. It is just simply sense gratification. That is the consciousness they have. But if such material gain is obtainable in another way, then this so-called religion is neglected. So the same people who are doing all these religious rituals and pious activities for some purpose they have in mind, some ulterior motive. If that ulterior motive is fulfilled in some other way, then all this, अरे ये सब की जरूरत नहीं है, अरे वो you can get this, you can achieve this by doing this also. Then this religious principles and pious activities are not required. This can be seen in modern human civilization. This is all what is boiling down to as modern human civilization. Since the economic desires of the people appear to be fulfilled in another way, no one is interested in religion now. In the olden days, there were farmers, and farmers would do sacrifices. They would request the Brahmins to do sacrifices so that there is proper rain, in order so that Lord Vishnu is satisfied, the demigods are satisfied, and when Lord Vishnu is satisfied with those sacrifices, then there will be nice rain. If there is nice and proper timely rain, then the all the crops and everything will grow properly. They will not get destroyed, and therefore all the people would be happy when there is sufficient food. What is the ultimate purpose? That we want to fill our bellies and we want to be happy. So people would do all these religious practices. But now there are so many modern equipments. Even if rain is not coming, okay, there is facility to store water and make sure that so therefore now the farmers also are becoming part of this modern human civilization. What is the use of all these yagya and all these things? No, this is wastage of time. So like that, since the economic desires are fulfilled in another way, appear to be fulfilled in another way, no one is interested in religion now. The churches, the mosques, and the temples are practically vacant. Nobody goes there. For people are more interested in factories, shops, and cinema halls than in the religious places which are constructed by their forefathers. This definitely proves that religious rituals are generally performed for the sake of economic development. Religious rituals are not performed for the actual purpose, for religious purpose. No, they were performed for sake of economic development, and now because it is getting fulfilled in some other way, therefore nobody is performing them. And when one is baffled in his attempt to attain sense gratification, he takes to the cause of salvation in order to become one with the supreme whole. All these activities arise with the same aim in view, sense gratification. So, when somebody has tried everything, all of these things, little bit religious all these regulations, and then some pious activities, and then chalo, we have got cinema halls, we have got this, we have got that. They have tried to enjoy in every way, but somehow or other, they are not getting what they want. That satisfaction of that sense gratification is not getting satisfied. And then they are fed up that, oh, all these things are of no use. So now what we will do? We want to merge into the supreme whole. Then we will be satisfied. But ultimately, all of these things, what is the Ulterior motive, sense gratification, personal sense gratification. Even I was listening to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj this morning, and something very relatable. Maharaj is saying that um, okay, we may sometimes we may feel that, oh, we are doing this practice for so many years, but why I'm not feeling separation from Krishna? Why torrents of tears are not flowing from my eyes? Why I'm not feeling ecstatic love for Krishna? Why this is not happening? So then Maharaj is saying that all this is nothing but sense gratification. We may like doing some services because we are feeling ecstasy, and we are feeling some attachment to Krishna and ecstasy by doing those services. That is also sense gratification, because we are attached to that ecstasy that we are feeling. The purpose is we want to please Krishna, and in pleasing Krishna, whether we get the ecstasy or not, we may not get any ecstasy, but if that is the service that I'm supposed to do, I should do that service keeping in mind I'm doing it for pleasure of Krishna. Otherwise, it is simply sense gratification in different forms, nothing else. Who cares about anybody's ecstasy? Maharaj is saying this, not my words, that who cares about your ecstasy, whether you are feeling ecstatic or not? It is not samsiddhir yutoshanam. It is not, the purpose is not that your senses should be gratified. The purpose is Krishna's senses should be satisfied. Therefore, I want to do this service. Because Guru and Krishna are pleased, therefore, I am doing this service. And what do I, why am I expecting? That is simply pride. That means there is lack of humility. I am expecting that because I am doing this, I should get this. That means there is lack of humility. Humility means, what do I deserve? I don't deserve any of these things. Actually, what I deserve to be burnt in flames in the hellish planets. Instead of that, because of the causeless mercy of my spiritual master and Krishna, I am here getting whatever I'm doing, able to do. Whatever rounds I'm chanting, whatever services I'm doing, is because of the causeless mercy of Guru and Krishna. Otherwise, at this point of time, I should have been in the hellish planets, burning in flames. Instead of that, I'm getting all these things, but there is no gratitude. I'm still waiting. I expected this to happen. Then you are only doing sense gratification. So very, very beautifully Maharaj was explaining. Of course, Maharaj, when Maharaj is explaining, it is very, very, uh, very nicely explained. I'm just putting it in short, that sense gratification can be in different forms. Even in Krishna consciousness, if we are doing services which I like, then it is sense gratification. Because I am still stuck and attached with the I and unable to come out of it. So we will pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we'll continue reading tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Your kind association. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantapati Vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Shri Srimad Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Hari.
हरी हरी बोल श्री श्यामा कुंड माता जी की जय। हरि
Glories to Sri
बोल।
Guru and Sri Gauranga.